My people, welcome back to my channel. And if it's your first time seeing my face, then salutations. My name is Priscilla and I make videos to help you smell good, look good, and feel good. In this video, I'll be talking to you about how I was able to get a Chanel bag for under £1,000 and the authentication process. So basically, how you can authenticate your Chanel bag by yourself at home. If you clicked on this video, you're probably looking to buy a Chanel bag, or you're just a luxury lover like myself. Get yourself a cup of tea and let's chat through the process. So first of all, we're going to talk about, it's not this bag that I bought for under £1,000, guys, but I bought a bag for under £1,000 and I was able to exchange it to then get my dream vintage bag. Now, if you've not seen a video, I did a full video talking about this bag, how I bought it, where I bought it. You know, the link to that video will be in the description box. You can help yourself to it after this video. So let's start with how I was able to buy the previous bag. I'll put a picture up here for under £1,000. That bag, the first thing was setting a budget. I had a budget in mind as to how much I was willing to stretch. I'll give you a bit of backstory. I had gone on a couple of websites. So there are different websites where people sell things pre-loved, vintage, and all of that. I'm not going to mention any companies because the video is not sponsored and I don't have experiences with all the companies. So yeah, I don't want to recommend anyone to you guys, but you probably know some of them. So I went on one of the websites and I found a bag that I liked. It was a lambskin leather bag with gold hardware like you've seen in the photograph. I then messaged the seller and found out that she actually lived in my area, so she was about 10 minutes to 9 minutes drive away from me. I asked if I could go have a look at the bag. She was happy for me to come along, so I went over to her house, had a look at the bag, and I was able to authenticate the bag myself. The only challenge was the bag did not come with an authenticity code. So stick with me, guys. Now, one of the ways to authenticate your bag yourself is most Chanel products, come with authentication code. So this is a unique serial number that would go to show you to an extent that a bag is authentic, but it's not the only method. Back to my story, guys. To this lady's house, had a look at the bag. I loved it. The only challenge was, like I said, it didn't have an authenticity code, but there were other ways for me to be able to tell if this bag was genuine. I'm going to use this bag as a lab rat today to show you how I was able to authenticate that bag. So, first things first, when you're looking at a Chanel vintage bag, they're usually gilded in 24 karat gold. So you have to look at the hardware on the bag. There's just a certain level of quality that you should be able to tell on the hardware of the bag. Another way I was able to authenticate the bag is with these bags that have got the chain strap, the leather part of the bag on the inside, so the leather part in between the chains is a tri-fold. So it's folded into three. It's not stitched, guys. In those days, I think people took more time into manufacturing things. So rather than just put it in and stitch it, which would have been the quicker way, it's folded. So when you look at it, I may not be able to zoom it quite in, but if you get hold of a Chanel bag, a genuine one, you'll be able to understand exactly what I'm saying. It's just folded. Imagine a paper folded into three, and then it's intertwined into the metal. So that's one of the ways I was able to authenticate that bag myself. The second way was, when you look inside the bag, they usually would have a sign, maybe some of them, especially the ones that are leather inside. This one is a cloth bag, so it doesn't really have that, but it would say something like, it would have the Chanel hot stamping, and it would probably say made in Spain or made in Italy. Chanel bags, I don't think ever say made in Paris, but I think they might say made in France. That's something I'll double check and, put it, somewhere on the screen if that's correct.
Quick edit, guys, so I did check that and they never say made in Paris, but they can say made in France.
But yeah, it would probably say made in, and it will have the Chanel logo. Now on the right side of the Chanel logo, it will have an R sign. Most of the vintage bags will have that R sign close to it. Another way you can authenticate the bag yourself is to look at the zip holes. Now with this bag, it's got the Chanel logo on it. Some of them haven't, a lot of them haven't. It's just the style of this bag that it has. The zippers, you'll just be able to tell that the bag is authentic. So I already talked about how to authenticate your Chanel bag through your zipper pulls, but another way as well is some of the zipper pulls on the inner pockets will have the Chanel logo on them. So yeah, you can authenticate your Chanel bag through the zipper pull. Another way to authenticate your Chanel bag is through the leather. Leather has got this musty smell to it. So when you've got leather, you would, to an extent, I don't know how else to explain it, but leather has just got this smell to it. Now, if you can't use the smell, don't worry. You can also do the moisture test. Take some droplets of water, put it on your bag. If it's real leather, it would absorb, and if it's not, it will just puddle on top and stay on top. Guys, I didn't say pour water on your bag. You don't want to damage it. But yeah, just a little droplet of water, and that will be able to let you know if the leather is real. Real leather also has grains on it. It's not perfect because it's leather. The way to authenticate a Chanel bag is the bag will most likely come with an authenticity card. Now, some of them don't, but it doesn't necessarily mean that it is not real. You have to look at the other things I have told you about. But yeah, most likely it will come with its authenticity card. Now, if it doesn't feel right, probably you shouldn't be proceeding with that transaction. And if it's too good to be true, most likely it is too good to be true. But yeah, these are a few pointers as to how to authenticate your Chanel bag yourself. Now, how I was able to get that bag for under £1,000 was when I actually went to the lady's house, I found out that that bag did not have, we couldn't find the authenticity code, and she didn't have the authenticity card. So it just made it a bit more difficult for her to sell. And, you know, I was able to haggle. So that's another point. Haggling, guys. Haggle, haggle, haggle. If somebody gives you a price, see if you can get a discount, you know. So yeah, I haggled with her, and I was in two minds. I was like, I don't know if I'll be able to sell on this bag, but I didn't know if I was quite ready to sell it yet. So I looked at the other points that I have talked about with you guys today, and that was my way of authenticating it. Even though when I came back home, I eventually actually found the authenticity code or the serial code. So in vintage bags, you can always check under the flap of the inner pocket. The authenticity code would be there, or it might just be in the inner pocket. So in this bag, it's just in one of the inner pockets, and you might not be able to see, but it's on the inner corner. So yeah, those are the major ways I can think of at the moment. I believe I've covered off in this video how to authenticate your Chanel bag by yourself. I hope you've gained some confidence in this video, or after watching this video, about authenticating a Chanel bag yourself. I've also talked to you about how I was able to buy the Chanel bag for under £1,000. It was majorly because we did not find the authenticity code as at the time I bought the bag, and then eventually I was able to find it. I've talked to you about how to find the authenticity code. It's usually in the inner pocket or under the inner pocket. So just check any of those places and you should be able to find your serial code. Also, another way to authenticate your Chanel bag is with the authenticity card. You know, the authenticity card, by the way, and the serial code in your bag should match. They should not be opposites of each other. They should match. So yeah, guys, those are a few tips and tricks. If you have any other tips that I have missed out in this video, please let me know in the comment section. I'll be happy to read and learn from you as well. And if you've enjoyed this video, smash that like button. Consider subscribing to my channel. And until I see you in my next video, stay beautiful and stay blessed. Bye.